Hello and welcome to the Special Needs Marriage and Family channel. Again, I'm Bradley and I want to welcome you. And in this episode tonight, I want to talk about a concept that I call flexible structure, particularly in the realm of parenting a special needs child. With the outbreak of COVID-19 and all of the dynamics that that's created, we're now faced with having our kids home with us 24/7. I'm reminded of a line in the Christmas song, right, that mom and dad can't wait for kids to go back to school again, and that is ever true at this point in time. But as we have our kids home all the time, this concept of flexible structure that I want to talk with you about is this. And as kids, as our special needs children need structure, and they get that at school, and let's just be honest, we don't always do the best at maintaining structure. We've got other kids, we've got other responsibilities, we've got meals to cook, we've got yards to mow and cars to maintain. It is really hard to keep that sense of structure, but our kids need that. Even our typical children need a sense of structure. But all the more, what I want to suggest to you is that we implement this idea of flexible structure. And what I want to say to you, moms and dads especially, or even single parents with your single child, first of all, you're doing better than you think you are. So many times in my work with parents and families as a marriage and family therapist is that here's the reality. Nobody's cheering you on. There is no cheering section when you get it right and a horn or a buzzer goes off and cheerleaders wave their pom-poms as if you did it right. There's no soundtrack to cue the dramatic music when we do something right as parents. Sometimes we just don't know. But this idea, flexible structure, kind of boils down to this. Our kids need consistency. As best we can offer that for them. And there are certain touch points, I think, in the day. And I know a lot of you in the COVID-19 crisis are figuring out exactly what school looks like, how far you're going to take that, and depending upon the developmental ability and cognitive abilities of some of your kids and some of the constraints there, that certainly impacts our abilities to teach our kids, but to certainly afford them some opportunities to continue to grow and develop. But I want you to think about this. Let's talk about bedtime, for example. And I know for many families, even if typical kids, that bedtime is one of the most stressful points of the day. It's at the end of the day. It's after we've worked. It's after we've cooked. It's after we've cleaned. After we've had the run of the mill, all the other responsibility, and it's time to put them in bed. And I live with that anxiety even now, as I just put my boys to bed. As you met Caden in the introduction, he's 7. We also have a 4-year-old typical son, and they room together. And already Grayson came out to tell me that Caden was waking up. So I've already put him back down once. Mom went in a second time. So how do you maintain consistency at bedtime? And here's what I'm getting at. Kids still need to have a consistent bedtime-ish. And what I mean by that, our boys go to bed typically at 7:30 on a school night. It's very easy for us to say, well, you know what? Kids don't have school tomorrow. They don't have to get up. So let's just let them stay up and watch TV and do whatever, right? It's not necessarily the best thing for them. They still need rest. They still need a sense of structure and normalcy. And so my suggestion to you, from my vantage point, is that we employ flexible structure. So you know what? For us, maybe not 7:30 on the money, but you know what? 8 o'clock is okay. And even during that bedtime process, there's some flexibility as to kids are interestingly a barometer. I remember when I was working with a family and they brought their very young child, less than a year old, and I remember the mom was standing holding the child, and we were at a very deep part in our work. I was doing couples counseling with them, couples therapy, and the baby just started crying and the mom stood up, and I had asked her a very deep, meaningful question. And I remember it hit me. I said, you know what, I think your child is expressing what you're really feeling. And that was like a watershed moment for her. Here's the reality. Kids are often a barometer of our own emotions. They pick up on it inherently and implicitly to things that are not even said but felt. And so just being sensitive to what our kids may be feeling, particularly at bedtime. They may need that extra reassurance and don't even know why. So the extra hug and the extra kiss for the third and the fourth and the fifth time are those opportunities for us to show extra compassion and, again, flexible structure to our kids as we employ some sense of normalcy for them. And the last thing I want to say about that quickly is we have to be patient. We have to be patient with our kids, and we have to be patient with ourselves. So here's the truth as well. It doesn't always go well. And it doesn't always go well for me, but I have to be patient with myself that tomorrow may be a better day. So I want to leave you with that encouragement. Again, I appreciate you watching and tuning in. Give us a like and continue to watch the Special Needs Marriage and Family channel. Thanks.